welcome back, photographers. It is Ben from TAFE, and it is my first day back on the tools at the campus, and I'm standing on the fire escape. It is Monday, the 4th of January, 2016. I've been in the office for a little bit, and I'm just not quite ready. So I thought I would come back and do this video for you. And it's work related, because what I'm going to do is use this video to preface a really different video I did. It's pretty honest. There's sort of things you don't really talk about a lot. I made the video, and then I got really busy at Christmas. You know, I had Laura's family come, I had my family come. It was just full on. And on top of that, the internet totally pegged out at home. I was getting like 2 megabits per second. Uploading video just was not a thing. But now I'm back at TAFE, and I've rewatched it, and I think even though it's pretty raw and rough, I'm still gonna share it with you guys. Excuse the apparel. I really thought what I'll do is I will go mow the lawn and then I'll go do the video. Like, I was in the full-on procrastination mode of do everything before it and then get to it. And then I really just gave myself a little slap on the wrist and said, just go and do the video. Which is why I'm wearing like a shirt that was probably my dad's. I'll probably turn the video into black and white so it kind of looks a bit better. Welcome back, and let's get to it. G'day photographers, welcome home. Alright, things are happening a little bit differently today in the sanctuary. First of all, we're not in the sanctuary. Where am I? I'm at home. This is the new house we bought this year. Well, this is the shed of the house. The house itself is a little bit more flash. Anyway, why I'm talking, it's customary for us to do a Christmas video at the end of every year at TAFE. Last year we had a really fun one, but this year I thought we'd change gears from that and do something a little bit more serious. I got an email from Aman, or Amen, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. We had a little discussion, and I said, oh, that's something I'd like to tackle in a sanctuary or a shed. Hey Ben, I'm studying the diploma in photo imaging with you guys, and after the course I wanted to start my own business in photography, mainly portrait, and was wondering if you had any advice that could give me a nudge in the right direction. That is pretty open-ended and a pretty cool question, and probably something we all think at least once a day as we progress our careers. I wrote back, but the spoiler is there's no tricks. It's pretty much just getting out there and getting it done. The long story is a little bit more tricky. Is there a quick and surefire way to build your business? Not really. If it was quick and it was easy, I think everyone would be doing it. Can the dog please not scratch himself while I have a moment here? If it's quick and it's easy, no one's going to pay you to do that. And there's two sides to that. One, I see the argument that photography is super competitive these days. Most fields are. So is anything. So is building. So is retail. So is hospitality. It's all nuts. The nice thing about photography is that you can go out with your camera, and if you're creative and if you've got a bit of that adventurous spirit, you can actually build a niche and a need that, you know, customers didn't even know they needed until they met you. Every man and his dog has a camera. That can be a scary proposition for photographers. I kind of look at it this way, is that you've got an immediate way, an immediate transaction with a potential customer. They go, I've taken this photo, why do I need you? They show it to you, and you can get your camera and you can take another photo and you can compare it right there, and you can say, that's why you need me. It's a real sort of in-your-face, visceral kind of comparison, and a lot of other trades don't have that instant, oh damn moment. Try convincing a home renovating You know, someone's watched the block and they think, yeah, I can renovate a bathroom. And a builder's like, there's a little bit more to it. That's a harder exchange, but it's really easy for photographers to actually get up there and say, hang on. There's a couple of things, though, that will definitely get you there. I think a couple of things are really key to being a photographer that gets paid. And the big one is a portfolio of good work that shows off what you want to shoot. No one these days will hire you on the faith that you can do a job, okay? They want to see many examples that you've done the work before and you've done it really well. If you want to start out as a photographer, I think the best way to get the ball rolling on your business is to build that portfolio first. And that might mean you're going to have to shoot it without getting paid first. Now, I'm not necessarily saying shoot for free. You should be shooting for a value exchange. So if a restaurant wants you to do photos, but you don't have food photos, full payment might be a bit much, but maybe they'll shout you a couple of dinners at their restaurant. So you can take the missus out. Or if you're going to flat out do the shooting for free, put a cap on it. Put a quick limited run on it. Say, hey, I'm starting out doing portrait photography. It's a bit of a departure. I'm going to offer, 10 photo shoots, hour sessions for the first 10 people that comment on this post. If you want free, high quality photos that would normally be valued at $200 an hour, now's your chance. So once those 10 photo shoots are gone and you've built up that portfolio, that's the end to it, that's when you can start charging. Get that portfolio cracking and use the diploma as an excuse to do that. Okay, it's really hard to motivate yourself if you're not going to get paid. It's a little bit easier if you have to do it because Ben, your photography teacher, is breathing down your back. Cool, I'm feeling sweaty. I bet you I look sweaty. Professionalism. Professionalism is probably the thing that I think will kick you above your competition. Dressing the part, it's about being prompt, it's about being on time. I'm wearing sort of old clothes today because I'm about to go mow the lawn and I'm squeezing this in. If you want the job, you've got to show up on time. A lot of photographers live and die on the quality of their work, but the complete package is someone who delivers good work and they deliver it on time, to deadline. They're polite and punctual, don't annoy people, they get the job done. These things, they're underrated things, and they're things we don't talk about a lot as photographers because we'd rather talk about gear and lenses and Bowens and lights and, but really, customers will choose the person that's easier to deal with as long as their work is of a good standard, versus someone whose work is amazing, but they're, all over the place. Yeah. All right. One more. Perseverance. You got to keep doing it, and you've got to do it consistently. If you can be consistent, g'day Benji, as you grow with your work, and you can keep putting out photos, good high quality photos, and updating your portfolio like every Friday or every Saturday or something like that, that's going to snowball the effect of your growth. It's all about building those photography muscles, and whether it takes a month or a couple of years, the amazing thing about photography for me is that it's that whole thing of if you shoot more than the other guy, eventually you're going to get better than him. As long as you are pushing and shooting outside your comfort zone. If you're being a really constructive, clever photographer and you're pushing your heart out, regardless of how talented and amazing that other person is, if you work harder than them, if you're more professional than them, and if your portfolio is full of awesome work, you're going to get the job no matter what their talent level is. The last thing I want to talk about is perfection and how it's utter bollocks. It isn't a thing. It's definitely something you see in those 3 or 4 minute YouTube videos of photographers running around like the beach with the big lights and saying, making it look easy. Those sorts of scenes, I can assure you, are really heavily edited. I just want to assure you that any kind of emotion you feel at any stage It's totally valid, and everyone goes through it too. So if you're feeling like family stuff is getting in the way of your photography stuff, if stuff is really taking you down and you need to take a breather, that's what happens. Okay, it's happened this year to me, and it's happened to everyone. Everyone's got their own stuff. Everyone's got their own, grandparents that are moving on. They're buying houses. They've got crazy pressure at work. All that kind of stuff is happening, and it happens to the pros too. And it does take a minute to get over it, whoever you are. I think there's an expectation that professionals don't get smashed about by these sorts of things. They do, and that expectation that you should be bulletproof makes people feel that they're not good enough and they walk away from their cameras. That's crap. Don't do that. Keep shooting. The only advice on that is, aside from don't buy the shiny stuff you see on YouTube, try and keep moving. And it might be just slow, steady stuff. It's one day it's getting out of bed, the other day it's getting back to work. It's just keeping moving. Doesn't matter if you're taking a step or a sprint, just that whole momentum and continuing to work at your craft at your pace is going to do you really well. All right, that got heavy. In short, it's Christmas time. I'm going to wind up the camera, start mowing the lawn, and then going to go shopping for Christmas food and my mum's Christmas present, which I still can't think of what to get her. So if you can help me out in the comments, that would be rad. It's been an incredible year. It's been a really full-on year from my perspective, but it's been a real amazing joy to be a part of this diploma group. You guys are so lovely to each other on Facebook. It's such a great community. It was so good to meet over a dozen of you in Melbourne for the weekend workshop. It's just the best thing, and I'm really thankful for it. Cheers.